And now, DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness.
Hear the legends of the Kung Fu Panda. Their name, and not seeking my some things, and if something Fu Panda, 5% Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness. Sweet.
Face Full of Fear is the 26th episode from Season 3 of Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness. When Po's childhood bully comes back to town, Po must learn to face his fear or risk losing his dragon warrior mojo. While Po and the Furious Five are locked in battle with Temmutai and the Chidon clan over a stockpile of black powder, the Panda pals come to him looking for help. They reveal that a new kid named Kong has been picking on them. Surprisingly, Temmutai voices his own displeasure at the idea of a bully before he and his forces are driven off by an explosion that Po inadvertently causes. Po then advises his young fans to stand up to the bully, sharing an account of his own bad experiences with a bully named Pen Fong, but without going into details of how their last confrontation ended. When the Panda pals attempt to follow his advice, Po gets involved despite himself and ends up scaring Kong, who is revealed to be Pen Fong's son. Pen Fong himself then appears and, despite being tiny in contrast to Po's description of him as a huge terror, Po finds himself completely terrified by his childhood bully. Pen Fong proves to be just as mean-spirited as in his youth, and despite his own increased size and kung fu abilities, Po is helpless against his bullying techniques, much to the dismay of the Panda pals and his teammates. Unbeknownst to them, Temmutai is observing the confrontation. Upon returning to the Jade Palace, Po then reveals that he never actually stood up to Pen Fong. Shifu then comes to counsel Po, advising him that his real enemy isn't Pen Fong but his own fear, only for Crane to bring news that Temmutai is after the black powder again. Po and the five go to stop them, only for Temmutai to reveal that he has formed an alliance with Pen Fong, whose presence once again sends Po into a fit of terror in which he disables his teammates. Though he finds Po's reaction pathetic, Temmutai leaves with the black powder. Shifu then warns Po that Pen Fong could prove to be an asset to Po's other foes as well. Shifu then shows Po that the Panda pals and Kong have become friends, the pals having followed Po's advice about talking to their former bully. Po then attempts to face Pen Fong but finds it more difficult to overcome his fear than he anticipated. In the midst of their confrontation, Temmutai arrives with a rocket made from the black powder he stole and aims it at the Jade Palace. Realizing the danger to his home, friends, and Kong, Po finally finds the strength to overcome Pen Fong, whom he then convinces to help him by revealing the danger to Kong. The two succeed in subduing Temmutai, but end up riding the rocket after it is launched, and barely succeed in redirecting it, causing it to hit the fleeing Temmutai and his minions instead. The two old enemies then reunite with their friends and loved ones, and Pen Fong apologizes for his years of tormenting Po, and even allows Po to take some payback. Pen Fong is a rabbit who is the father of Kong and the childhood bully of Po. When they were both children, Pen Fong took great delight in terrorizing Po, an experience that deeply scarred the young panda and which left him paralyzed with fear at the thought of his tormentor. Eventually, Pen Fong's family moved out of the village, much to Po's relief. However, years later, Pen Fong and his son moved back into the village, which Po was horrified to discover. Despite Pen Fong's small size, Po remained terrified of him, much to the delight of the still mean-spirited rabbit. Even worse, Temmutai learned of the effect Pen Fong had upon Po and joined force with him to further his own plans.